15 goals against Arsenal in 21 appearances, including 6 against Arsenal here at the Emirates for Harry Kane. But he is just over on the far side of the pitch. Arsenal's players going into their huddle. Arsenal with Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Mosquera and Lewis Skelly starting this one. Zubamendi and Rice, Saka the captain, Eza, Trossard and Marino, Odegaard among the subs. Bayern Munich with Neuer in goal, their captain, Stanisic, Upamecano, Tar and Lima, Kimmich and Pavlovic, Lennart Karl, the 17-year-old, Elise, Gnabry and Harry Kane. Right, here we go. I don't think there'll be too many people who would dispute we're about to watch currently the best two teams in Europe right now. And it's Bayern Munich who get us underway. Serge Gnabry, the former Arsenal man, is able to get the first touch of the ball. Bayern Munich play it downfield, and then Arsenal are able to find their goalkeeper, Raya. Long ball downfield, double bounce off the head of Lima and Saka. It is Lima who has started as left back up against Bukayo Saka, and Bayern Munich will bring the ball out from the back with Upamecano. Bayern Munich unbeaten home and away against all comers this season. 117, drawn 1 of the 18 matches they've played. They're 6 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga. Arsenal are 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League, and Arsenal are unbeaten here at the Emirates this season. Just the one draw they've won there of that 7 matches, the 1-1 draw against Manchester City. It's Bayern Munich in possession. It's a dry night here at the end of November. This their 5th match for the two of them in the Champions League, and we are watching the teams that are 2nd and 1st in the table. And we will keep you across the other matches involving Tottenham and Liverpool. PSG 0, Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0, PSV 0, as Bayern Munich have the ball in centre field with Pavlovic, who goes back to Upamecano. Bayern enjoying a touch of the ball. Everything seems to have settled down in the Bayern Munich section of the stands, and Bayern go all the way back deep into their own half. So an opening goal of the night in the Championship. Nathan Albon.
And it is a belter, John, for Wrexham, a lead they deserve. Nathan Broadhead fed the ball, edge of the penalty area, 25 yards out, and he bends it into the top corner. Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0.
That the first goal of the night in the Championship. All of the other matches 0-0. West Brom Birmingham just underway. Ball played forward for Arsenal to chase. Not the powerful start Matt Upson that we saw from Arsenal against Tottenham. It's Bayern who are enjoying most of the ball.
Yeah, not at all, John, to be honest. And I watched their previous game against PSG away, Bayern Munich, and they were sensational in the first half of that game. Really controlled the game, created chances. They play anywhere near as good as that. Arsenal are going to have their work cut out.
Yes, we're going to have to mind our PSGs and PSVs tonight, with Tottenham playing PSG and Liverpool PSV. Also mind our P's and Q's, of course, as we normally do. That's Matt Upson, Champions League player with Arsenal and England defender, and it is Bayern Munich who are still on the ball. Gnabry with a flick. This is for Lima to chase, the Austrian international, but Jurrien Timber gets there first. I thought it was an interesting team selection tonight, Matt, with North London derby last Sunday, Stamford Bridge coming this Sunday afternoon, and he's made just the 2 changes, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, he has, but I mean, all 3 games are very big games for Arsenal. You'd say this one is the least important in terms of winning a trophy. The Premier League wins are just for Arsenal. They're in that momentum and in that rhythm. They want to keep stacking up those 3 points and good performances. As we've already touched on, you can afford to lose a game like this, can't you, in the position that Arsenal, and it's not a disaster. So it is a relatively strong team considering that.
As Eberici Eza is fouled by Jonathan Tah. Wasn't a great deal in that, but he did catch him down in the Bayern left-back area. Also, a few moments earlier, Declan Rice with his first challenge and tackle on Kimmich in the centre circle. That will be a battle tonight. Kimmich, the German captain, but a free kick on the right.
Yeah, Vinny Kompany is not happy with that decision at all. Still talking to the 4th official. Really did get out of his technical area. Wasn't happy with the fact that it was a challenge, because he knows that these situations is what Arsenal thrive off. Declan Rice now just hovering over the ball with his right foot, looking to whip it in from the right-hand side.
Interesting get-up from Vincent Kompany tonight. It's all very black and baggy. Declan Rice with the free kick in from the right-hand side, and it's headed up and across goal. Saliba with the chance, arriving on that, but couldn't deflect it down on target. It's behind, it's a goal kick. 0-0 here, straight to Anfield. Lee Blakeman.
Penalty to PSV given for a handball against Virgil van Dijk. Upsets Perisic in front of the Kop and silences the Kop. PSV lead. It was an awful handball from the Liverpool captain. Brilliant penalty from Perisic, and inside 5 minutes it's Liverpool 0, PSV 1.
And it goes on for Liverpool. 1-0 down. Liverpool, who were 10th in the table coming into tonight. Remember, the top 8 go through directly into the last 16. After that, 9th to 24th will go into the playoff round, so we'll have the extra 2 matches. Already tonight, Copenhagen 3, Kairat 2, and Paphos 2, Monaco 2. So both Paphos and Monaco are in that top 24, but we'll see what develops over the course of the night. Arsenal with the throw-in down here to the right, just a few yards away from the corner flag, but that early chance for Saliba, Matt.
Yeah, I think they were offside on that free kick from the look of it, but I mean, Lima shifting across the left back position, that's purely because of Saka, right? I think Company wants to see him 1v1 with him. He's such a dogged competitor, Lima, really fit, gets up and down and doesn't give anyone any space or time.
Throw in then, Declan Rice to take this. And he steps away down the little slope and then up and in it loops towards the near post, hits Harry Kane, bounces away. Bayern are able to clear it. Eza is onto this. Lewis Skelly coming into the team. Hincapié is on the bench, so is Calafiori. So Lewis Skelly getting a relatively rare start for him this season, just his 5th start in all competitions. Comes back to Jonathan Tah on the edge of the Bayern box. Across to Upamecano. There's been a very effective pair, these two in central defence. It's a bit of a revival, isn't it, for Upamecano?
Yeah, there's a bit of physical presence as well, isn't it? Both of them. That may well come in very useful this evening when the ball starts slinging into the box from throws and corners. They've got 2 centre-backs who will stand up and head the ball.
Although in the last couple of matches they were 2-1 down against Union Berlin in the Bundesliga before Harry Kane scored a 90th minute equaliser, and on Saturday early on they were 2-0 down against Freiburg after 17 minutes, but then stormed back with 6 goals without reply, and Michael Elise scored 2 and set up 3 of them, and Bayern Munich in possession of the ball inside their own half.
I mean, it's interesting, Lennart Karl as well, he's got that free role, hasn't he? Central, both Elise and Gnabry are both wide, and he's the player that's going to drift in about. I mean, he looks very clever, the little positions that he's taken up, always wanting to receive the ball, always on offer to take it in the middle of the park.
Yes, there was a doubt over him. That's an excellent turn away from Timber, typical Jurriën Timber, strong, and then gives it to Saka. He's strong as well, as the challenge came in from Lima, who went all the way centrally. Lima, the left back, followed Bukayo Saka. Saka just shrugged him off there, and Arsenal now have got the ball back inside their own half. And Zubimendi, that's a good ball. Marino dropping deep. Marino's pass over the top. Trossard is onto this. Trossard clips it over Neuer, and it's touched away by Tah. Saka, though, is able to take up possession of the ball for Arsenal. Then back, miss-hit by Zubimendi. Trossard with a chance. That's blocked inside the box by Stanisic, who was coming across, and then the offside flag is finally was that for Trossard?
It was how long?
That was for the initial ball, when over the top.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it died at the side and came back out, surely the flag should come up. It did look offside to me, but the assistant took so long, waiting for about 3 different phases of play.
Doing what he's told to do.
Yeah.
However, players are diving in, blocking efforts, collisions.
Yeah, it looked offside, didn't it? He's a moment way through. I thought Trossard went a little bit too early.
And now Saliba stepping forward from the back, and then wasn't sure what to do with it. Matt, the old central defender, edge of the box.
What are you saying, John?
Well, it's actually quite reassuring, I feel, that even now in this age, that a central defender finding himself in that position with options either side of him actually just mishits it straight through to the goalkeeper.
Well, Harry Kane called it, didn't he, early on?
He did, yes.
Before the game.
Yes,
it started a bit like that. Long throw and a set play, the 2 real chances.
Arsenal 0, Bayern Munich 0. Still Liverpool 0, PSV 1, that early penalty, so Liverpool losing again. Still PSG, Tottenham is 0-0. That is on Sports Extra, by the way, with Conor McNamara and Paul Robinson on your digital radio, or via the BBC Sounds app, where you can also listen, of course, to 5 Live wherever you are. Here's Tarr, Jonathan Tarr, Lima now. Saka puts in the challenge on him. That's going to be a good contest, isn't it, from what we've seen already in the match. Saka and Lima. There's Upamecano, here's Kane. Well, there's the reaction that Mark Chapman was only wanting to hear. They were
desperate for it, wasn't he?
He was desperate for it, wasn't it? However, there he is, he'll be happy now. A gentle chorus of boos for the England captain, Harry Kane, who did score last time Bayern were here. Were you here for that, Matt, did you say? The 2-2 draw in the quarter-final season before last?
Yes.
Yeah,
and he was excellent in that game. And like what Stephen Warnock said before, he was so clever with his body, kept bumping, nudging, really unsettling the two centre-backs. Very clever the way he played.
Gnabry scored in that one as well, didn't he?
Yes,
against
he did.
his former club.
Yeah.
Trossard with a late equaliser. But
it's a bit dubious, if I remember rightly.
That's right, yeah.
The challenge with the keeper, was it? Or something like that?
That's right.
My memory serves me right.
And in the end, they went out in the second leg of the quarter-final in Munich.
Yes.
A Kimmich goal.
Yep, 1-0.
Yep.
And they played quite well out there, Arsenal, but that experience, those phases, those seasons that you have to go through, getting part-way, quarter-finals, semi-finals, keep building on it. I think Arsenal are really in that phase, and is the next step the final? We'll have to wait and see, but they've certainly got the squad for it.
This is Arsenal's 24th season in this competition, either European Cup or Champions League, and famously or infamously have never won it.
No, and they're never really heavily seen as a threat to win it.
It is got a couple of scores, but Kimmich in possession with the ball on the right-hand side, and then it goes back towards the right-back position. Olympiacos winning 1-0 against Real Madrid, so Olympiacos in front against Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham on the bench tonight, I heard John Bennett say, and also West Brom 1-0 up against Birmingham City. In form Birmingham, but Alex Moat with the goal, West Brom in front. Kimmich across to Upamecano, 0-0 here. Upamecano, right-footed diagonal pass. This is one for Gnabry to chase. He missed the match on Saturday, Gnabry, but past fit for this and able to start against his former club. I remember, might even have been you and me, when he came and scored 4 goals at Tottenham in a 7-2 win in the Champions League. Gnabry, it's out of play for a throw-in. Gnabry last played and scored when Germany qualified for the World Cup with their 6-0 win against Slovakia in Leipzig. Throw-in taken by Arsenal, hooked away, but Bayern take it up again and back it goes to the edge of the area. I think it is true what you say, strangely, Arsenal against Bayern Munich, top 2 in the league, English league leaders, German league leaders, but it's not even Arsenal's biggest game this week. Saka heads the ball down into the full-back position, but 3 Bayern players are there, including Harry Kane, who actually stumbled, fell, and the whistle goes, rather debatably, for a foul. Kane just seemed to lose his footer.
He did. I didn't see too much in that at all. I mean, it was 3 players around Saka there, and he very nearly wormed his way out of that little corner of the pitch.
Meanwhile, what was Harry Kane doing back there anyway?
I don't know. Just trying to track back and do his job for the team, John. I mean, he was a long way back there. He didn't really need to be there. There was enough bodies.
There's a foul on Trossard, and it's a free kick to Arsenal halfway inside their own half. Atletico Madrid winning 1-0 against Inter. So Julian Alvarez with the goal for Atletico Madrid. Inter, who were the only other team, other than the ones that we're watching here, who are unbeaten in the Champions League phase so far this season. And actually, Arsenal play Inter away in January. Their next match is against Club Brugge away, and then they go to Milan in January before they finish off against Kairat at home. If the job isn't done by then, which I would very much expect it will be, that Arsenal will have clinched their place in the last 16.
The Inter game away?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a tough game, though.
It is, followed by Kairat at home, though.
Yeah.
And if Kairat, as I said right at the outset, if Kairat do anything other than finish bottom of this league table, they'll have done very well. But Ajax are giving them a run for their money after losing all 5 matches.
I mean, what's Harry Kane going to say about Inter when he goes there? If he says that about Arsenal, I mean, that is a place that you do go, and they embrace that defend the box mentality, let me tell you, and they're so pragmatic the way they play. But how successful are they, Inter? They really do go deep into these tournaments regularly, and that's for a reason.
Yeah, they've got another excellent record, haven't they, in the Champions League this season in terms of defensively, as the ball bounces towards the edge of the box and it is cleared away. Mind you, Arsenal's record in the Champions League this season: 2-0 against Athletic Bilbao, 2-0 against Olympiacos, 4-0 against Atletico Madrid, and 3-0 against Slavia Prague. The team with the best defensive record in the Champions League this season is the one that we're watching here, the home side. Back it goes to Raya. Right-footed ball all the way down the middle for Saka to chase. Neuer's come out of his penalty area and he's been able to head it away. I thought he was heading it straight to Trossard, but he's headed it to his teammate Stanisic, the right back. Back to Anfield, Lee Blakeman.
Liverpool are level 15 minutes in. It's 1-1. Good shot by Gakpo, cutting in from the left on his right foot. Keeper made the save, and Szoboszlai was there to drill in the rebound from 12 yards, much to the relief of many inside Anfield. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 1.
Szoboszlai, the only man who scored a winning goal against Arsenal this season, the 1-0 win at Anfield back at the end of August. We've got a stoppage here because I think when Neuer came out of the penalty area, Saka running through, Neuer has collided with Saka, who took the ball in the face.
It's the ball,
on his nose, presumably.
He did, right on the end of the nose. Really unfortunate. Neuer comes out, cleanly wins it. Saka sees him coming and just disengages a little bit, but as he heads it, the ball's really travelling at pace and it hits him flush on the side of the nose, and is just dealing with a bit of a nosebleed at the moment.
Yep, so he's receiving some treatment. Arsenal 0, Bayern Munich 0. In the Championship tonight, still Blackburn 0, QPR 0, Millwall 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 0, Portsmouth 0, Wrexham winning 1-0 against Bristol City, and West Brom 1, Birmingham 0 are the latest scores. Alistair Bruce Ball has the latest on PSG Tottenham.
Yeah, coming up to 14 minutes played in Paris. PSG 0, Tottenham 0. One Fabian Ruiz shot fizzing wide of Vicario's right-hand post. That's the closest we've come to a threat on goal. I think the most noteworthy thing to say here, John, is it's not a back three. It's not a 5 for Tottenham. Archie Gray is playing alongside Bentancur in midfield. It's more of a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-4-2, and definitely more intensity, better attitude. Tottenham making a good fist of this so far this evening. It's 0-0.
Saka is still being tidied up here, so we can hear more from Nathan Alban at the racecourse ground.
Where it is Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0. The Welsh side well on top through the Broadhead belter. Anis Mehmeti, though, has missed a chance to equalise. He blasted over, and George Dobson nearly doubled Wrexham's lead but slipped the ball wide. 30 gone, Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0.
Here at the Emirates, it is raining now. You're right, Matt, when I said it was a dry night.
Yeah, it's a nice drizzle.
Yeah,
it has been raining all night, John.
Has it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it was dry when I walked.
Sort of start of the game, I think.
Dry when I walked
start
to the
ground.
Game.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
No breeze, just a little bit of light, very light.
Well, you say very light.
Yeah.
I'd say that's actually now quite heavy. Anyway, that's the weather news.
Yeah.
On the pitch, it's 0-0. Arsenal against Bayern Munich, top 2 in the Champions League. On Sunday it'll be the top 2 in the Premier League. Join us for that on 5 Live. Chelsea against Arsenal, amongst all of our Premier League commentaries this weekend. Ball on the right hand side, a little tug back on Elise trying to cut in from the right, and it was a foul by Lewis Skelly. It's a free kick to Bayern.
And he will cut in, by the way, Elise. That is the one area that Lewis Skelly may as well bring him down, because the moment he steps inside, like Saka really, his left foot is accurate, it's powerful. He really does drive into that corner of the box and causes all sorts of trouble. 9 goals for Elise this season. Luis Diaz, by the way, suspended tonight. He's got 11 goals for Bayern Munich. It's a big miss.
This season. Yeah, big miss after the that tackle on Hakimi in the previous match. Right, free kick, Kimmich to take it. Right footed into the near post, but that's defended well. Headed away well. And Arsenal have been able to clear it all the way back to Neuer. In fact, it was played back by Pavlovic to the experienced, the veteran goalkeeper Neuer, 39 years old. Here is Elise now, running down the right wing for Bayern Munich against Trossard. Lovely change of feet, and then the cross was deflected behind by Trossard, who went with him. It's a corner to Bayern Munich. First of all, though, back to Anfield, Lee Blakeman.
Liverpool 1, PSV 1. PSV have scored, but it's been disallowed. Free kick from the right. Gashierovsky tap in at the back post, but the flag went up on this near side, so it's still 1-1.
PSV, incidentally, I think will have slipped down the table after the earlier results. Yeah, no, they're 20th currently in the live table, as it were. Corner then for Bayern to the back post. Upamecano backing away, heads it down against Saliba, but headed it straight behind Matt for a goal kick. Still 0-0.
Yeah, Arsenal do lock in well when they defend set plays. They get in and amongst the players. There's a little bit of zone, but they also track play as well. Upamecano made a nice little spinning run to the back post, but always under pressure from Marino, so he couldn't really head the ball. They look so strong with set plays, Arsenal, I must say.
Raya with the ball at his feet, the Arsenal goalkeeper with his 11 clean sheets this season. Kimmich though for Bayern, and then Upamecano is dispossessed, but the pass forward from Lewis Skelly goes astray, and Bayern have got it back, although that was a heavy pass infield by Lima. Zubimendi heads it forward, bouncing ball, Saka challenged for that by Pavlovic. Still the ball is with Arsenal. Zubimendi looking to win the corner against Lima, and he's been successful in doing that. A corner, first corner of the match to Arsenal.
Yeah, good play from Zubimendi, a player that's there to tick the ball over, but he wins a really good header initially to keep the ball alive, and then really puts Lima under pressure. Good physicality from Zubimendi there.
It does amuse me. Everyone is so aware of the Arsenal potential from corners, that when they win one,
everyone's poised, everyone's up out of their seat.
Yeah. So Saka to take this, you know the drill. Arsenal corner from the right. Saka 3-4 big steps away, standing behind the dead ball line, right arm raised, then everyone makes the runs, in it goes, and it's glanced in. Neuer came for it, he couldn't get there. It's Timber, Jurien Timber with a touch. The ball's in the Bayern net, and it's Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 0, and the corner does the trick for Arsenal yet again.
Oh, who'd have thought it? 1-0 Arsenal and a corner set play. You'd never have guessed that before the game, would you? But I tell you what, it was so well worked. The quality of the delivery, you have to admire the consistency that Arsenal deliver what they do. Vincent Kompany not happy, but his team don't defend this well enough. They're very static the way they start Bayern, and Arsenal love to put that ball into the near post. When you have 2 or 3 players on the move, you've got a couple static in there, just jostling, stopping people from competing. I think it's Marino just gets his kind of hip into Neuer just before to bump him, and as the ball comes, he makes a decision to come and claim it in that near post area, doesn't get there. It's a simple glance of the head, and it's in the back of the net. Arsenal unsettle teams with these set plays, and they certainly unsettled Bayern there.
Well, Harry Kane and Bayern Munich were all too aware of the threat that Arsenal would pose from set pieces, but Arsenal do it week in, week out in the Premier League, more successful than anyone over the course of this season and last season, and Bayern just couldn't cope with it. And as you said, Matt, when we got a chance to see it again on our little screen here, they are so clever, aren't they? The way, and there's a formidable challenge by Upamecano, who absolutely piled in on the challenge. Referee Marco Guida couldn't get the yellow card out quickly enough because Mosquera was sent absolutely head over heels when the contact came in on him. So yellow card for Upamecano.
I just completely upended him really late. Yeah, I mean, I'm having a little glance at the replay of that goal as well. There's so many Arsenal players. Bayern, they're just static zonally. And they must get an overload, Arsenal, of about 5 players against 2 or 3. And they just win that battle. The flight of the ball is really good. You know, you can do your homework as much as you want, but for me, with Arsenal, you have to lock in and go and actually track men. Maybe it gets a bit messy in the box at that point, but when you're static and you're zonal, you're just not affecting the play.
So Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 0. Still PSG 0, Tottenham 0. Still Liverpool 1, PSV 1. And Arsenal with another set piece. Declan Rice, this is halfway inside the Bayern half, over on the left-hand side. Rice will play it in, curl it in. Mosquera going for it, but that is headed away by Upamecano. They're struggling to get it away. Arsenal now. Saka just holds it up from Lima, plays it back. Rice is on the halfway line, but he's overhit the pass and it bounces all the way through to Manuel Neuer. Real Madrid have equalised. Kylian Mbappe has made it 1-1 in Piraeus, and he's got another one. Olympiacos 1, Real Madrid 2, but Mbappe with 2 goals in 2 minutes. And Olympiacos 1, Real Madrid 2. And Sheffield United have taken the lead against Portsmouth, and it is the England under-21 international Saidi Peck with a penalty. As the ball's played back to Neuer, that was hit with a little more pace than Pavlovic intended, and Neuer had to be sharp there.
It's raining, John. It's just zipped off the turf, didn't it? It's a slick pitch out there this evening with Arsenal, and Neuer was on his toes. He had to shuffle across to his left-hand side and just stop that one going in.
Yeah, the Bayern captain in his 15th season at Bayern Munich, Champions League winner twice in his time with them. I mean, his trophy cabinet must be groaning. Neuer, but there was nothing he could do about that. Arsenal from the corner, they did a job on him, didn't you? As you say, Marino unsettled him.
There's, like what you said, there's so many little intricate factors about that set play, about what every player does. They do just enough, but they don't make a foul. You know, just understanding the boundaries and the parameters and what you can do and what you get away with. They've just mastered it over the last couple of seasons, Arsenal. It's such a weapon.
Yeah, and as the Arsenal fans sing, set piece again, oh yay, and that's not the last time we'll hear that this season.
No.
Incidentally, just with Mbappe scoring those 2 goals, that is Mbappe now 25 goals this season for club and country in 22 appearances. Just keeping an eye on Haaland, Mbappe and Kane, as the ball's played back to Raya, who's able to come and gather it. So he's got 25 goals, club and country. Kane's got 29, and Haaland's got 32.
It's not bad between them.
It's not bad, is it? They go all the way through to the World Cup. Here's Marino, as I said to Harry Kane in Tirana. Everyone knows how important it is for England to keep him fit and to carry on scoring goals at the rate that he is. Here's Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's ball across the box. Only half cleared away by Stanisic, but then it came back to him and he was able to hit it away to the halfway line. Vincent Kompany just walking across the edge of his coaching area. They are the baggiest. He's got really baggy black tracksuit.
They're probably
bottoms.
similar to your kind of golfing waterproofs, John. You know, the ones that you'd wear at...
That's well remembered.
Yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
When it's just raining and you're out there all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks as though, with that sort of hooded black coat on, black woolly hat, he looks as though after this he'll be off down to one of those places in the garages on the south side of the river for a big night.
He's prowling the technical area, isn't he, Vincent Kompany, having a lot of little chats with the fourth official.
Yeah, those places that I've heard about. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 0. Tar passing the ball out from the back to Pavlovic. This is the first time that Bayern Munich has fallen behind in the Champions League this season, and it is Arsenal who are doing that to them. 1-0, and Jurriën Timber scoring for the 3rd time this season. Got a couple of the goals here against Leeds United. You remember the 5-0 win? Long one downfield, but Bayern Munich will take up possession with Gnabry. Still Liverpool 1, PSV 1 at Anfield after PSV were ahead, but Szoboszlai equalised. And what is the news on PSG Tottenham? Alistair Bruce Ball is monitoring it.
I am indeed, yes. Those were your MC Hammer waterproofs, made famous at the Ryder Cup at Bethpage not so long ago, weren't they? 0-0 in Paris. Tottenham doing okay. PSG looking a little more threatening in the last 10 minutes or so. Vitinha's put a couple of probing passes in. One very nearly created a goal for Zaire Emery. But 26 minutes played, PSG 0, Tottenham 0.
Yes, I think that look is obviously all the rage for 2025. I might get GQ Man of the Year.
Did you buy them in a shop there?
I did, yeah.
It
it was in Portrush.
That's right.
On the waterfront in Portrush.
Schoolboy error for getting yours, aren't they?
Well, very much so. However, look at the content that it's provided for 5 Live. as Arsenal play the ball out towards Zubimendi. Bayern made the stronger start, but Arsenal are in their stride now, Matt, aren't they? And here's Eze, who's actually really not been able to get into the match after his great exploits here against Tottenham. Lewis Skelly, be grateful for him to get his chance again. So the ball's played out towards the left-hand side. Here's Trossard, who is one of the... Well, I think it would be overstated to say that he's an unsung hero at the moment, but he is very much playing his part, Trossard, although he can't keep the ball in, and it's out of play for throwing to Bayern.
He's impactful, isn't he? You know, the minutes that he does get, or when he comes on off the bench, he's a very good finisher, I will say. He gets half an opportunity, he takes it, Leandro Trossard. He might not be in everyone's first choice 11, but when he gets an opportunity, he certainly impacts things for Arsenal.
Mbappe scored a hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick in 7 minutes, and it is Olympiacos 1, Real Madrid 3. Harry Kane is beaten to it by Saliba, and that ball has landed at the feet of Eze, and now back to Marino, and back to Eze, and Eze shoots it under pressure across the face of goal. The defender challenge came in. I thought he was almost certain to score there, Eze, but couldn't direct it on target. And as he's hauled to his feet by Trossard, he has a huge smile on his face. Can't get them all right.
Now, we're just saying how he hasn't got in the game, and he hasn't until now, but what a beautiful piece of skill. He plucks it down out of the sky, drops with his right foot, and the touch, there's spin on the ball. He touches it, pressure comes to him, and he flicks it through the legs. I think it's Upamecano who comes out to try and take him on, and he just slips it through his legs, gets the return ball, and then it gets a little bit too clever, maybe, doesn't it? Maybe nice to have seen a shot from the edge of the box once you've done that little bit of skill. Goes a little bit too far and can't quite find the finish, but lovely little introduction into the game there from Eze.
Keen-eared listeners will have worked out for themselves while you were talking there, Matt, that Harry Kane was in possession briefly and then lost the ball, hence the reaction of the Emirates crowd. They're warming to their task now that Harry Kane's Bayern Munich are losing 1-0 here. Half-time in the Championship at the Racecourse Ground, Nathan Albon.
Whereas Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0. Wrexham lead through Nathan Broadhead's cracker on 15 minutes. Some strike, Johnny. Took a touch 25 yards out and then bent it inside the far post. Bristol City have had the ball in the net, but it was ruled out. Emil Rees sliding in on the Wrexham goalie. Half-time, Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0.
It's also half-time, Millwall 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And Sheffield United, Chris Wilder and his team could be out of the bottom 3 tonight. Half-time, they're winning 1-0. Elise, and now into the middle, and there's the chance! And it's scored! Leonard Carl, the 17-year-old. What a break from Bayern Munich. So quick, so fast. Elise down the right, his ball in, and the teenager was there, arriving with his left foot to plant the ball into the back of the Arsenal net. And it's 1-1. And Arsenal concede for the first time in the Champions League this season.
Well, the 17-year-old, cool as you like. Really good play from Bayern, just direct. Arsenal go to sleep a tiny bit. Lewis Skelly gets a little bit done with the run of Elise. Long diagonal over the head of Lewis Skelly. First time cross on the volley from Elise. It's a beautiful ball. It's actually Gnabry onto the right-hand side who puts the ball back across. And what I love about Carl here, he sees the ball go. He's 17 years old and he's got the understanding to know, right, I need to get in there to be effective in the box, and he gets right bang in the middle of the box. Ball comes across, it's a simple finish, but slick move from Bayern Munich, and Arsenal just going to sleep for a split second.
Yep, that's all it takes against opposition of this quality, and Bayern Munich there showing what they are made of. In the twinkling of an eye, Arsenal had been the better team for a period of time inside the match, taken the lead, but Kimmich's pass, as you say, Matt, Gnabry down the right-hand side. What a pass that was from Gnabry as well. First time.
Superb.
It over his shoulder, running onto it.
Yeah.
First time, didn't let it bounce.
No.
First time pass square for Lennart Carl to score, arriving. And what a moment for him as ball's played forward to Kane inside the penalty area, but Saliba and Mosquera are just about able to deal with him. It was slightly behind him as Kane took it down.
Yeah, they're just starting to look a little bit more direct here now, Bayern. A couple of longer balls. They can see that Arsenal have pressed up the pitch a little bit, and there's a couple of openings. You know, you look at Lewis Skelly on that far side for the first one. maybe if you don't quite play enough minutes, just that little bit of detail, that being tuned in, that match positioning slightly out. And as you mentioned, John, at this level, that's all it needs.
So 1-1, Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. Still PSG 0, Tottenham 0, Liverpool 1, PSV 1. The PSG match, you can hear that right now on Sports Extra. That's the choice of listening. We do have Champions League final score up and running tonight, where you can listen to the comment. Oh, Gnabry is dispossessed by Saka, and Gnabry crucially, just when it looked as though Saka might be able to break through one-on-one with Neuer, the recovering Gnabry just got a toe into it.
I can't believe he's got back in control of that situation, John, to be honest. Saka had nicked it off him. He was the wrong side of him. How Gnabry's got back in is phenomenal.
So 1-1 it remains. And that was a let-off for Bayern Munich. Tar, long pass forward from him. That is taken down over there on the right-hand side by Stanisic, and then the shot across the goal, and he had options there. Stanisic, Kane was in the middle, Gnabry as well, Elise was there, and all of them, while Stanisic just ended up on the ground with his hands on his face, the others have all turned away from him.
They've got in a huddle to talk about how bad the decision was here from him. I mean, he doesn't get his head up, doesn't see them. He's got too much time. It's so open. Again, on the Arsenal left side of the pitch, long diagonals spotted early. They've started to hit those, Bayern. They're sensing the fact that there's space in those areas, and every time they get it, they're looking to spin that little ball in behind.
Just got a stoppage. There's an Arsenal man down. Trossard is receiving treatment on the pitch. So let's see what's happening at Anfield. Lee Blakeman.
Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 1, but Liverpool starting to move through the gears. Ekitike's had 2 shots, really well saved by Matej Kovar. Van Dijk's just headed against the crossbar, and Salah's cleared the crossbar from 20 yards out. It feels like a second Liverpool goal is coming at the moment, though, with 8 minutes to go until half-time. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 1.
As I say, Champions League final score is on the red button tonight via the BBC iPlayer as well. Just look for that, and you'll be able to listen to our commentary on this match. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1, but also see the analysis and various other bits and pieces, and the video printer as well. The TV clips from all of this week's Champions League matches will be on the iPlayer after 10 o'clock, and there is a Champions League match of the day tonight. Kelly Cates will have Thomas Hitzelsberger, Guillaume Balaguer and Stephen Warnock, who's already been on the programme this evening. Oh, this is worrying. A stretcher is coming out.
Yeah, I've seen Madueke's really getting stripped and getting his shirt on. I think Trossard is coming off. I don't know if what's happened to him, but he certainly doesn't look like he can carry on.
Well, he's actually got to his feet. The stretcher is not needed, which I'm relieved to say. He's going to be able to walk off. This is a real blow for Trossard. 2 goals in his last 2 matches. Big part of that. Scored the opening goal in the North London derby. Has had a run in the team, and Madueke will come on to replace him. PSG Tottenham, Alistair Bruce Ball.
Well, that is much more like it from Spurs. They lead 1-0 in Paris, 10 minutes left in the first half. It is a goal of real beauty. Started down the left, Lucas Bergvall with a little back heel flick to Archie Gray. Archie Gray floats across into the far post. Kolomani leaps high, heads it straight back across goal, over the goalkeeper Chevalier, and Richarlison is waiting. He knows exactly where that's going to go, and heads it in from close range. It's PSG 0, Spurs 1.
Tottenham winning against the holders in Paris. Commentary on Sports Extra. Conor McNamara and Paul Robinson with that, and Trossard replaced Matt by Madueke, who came on as a substitute late on in the match in the 78th minute of the North London derby after a lengthy spell out, 11 matches. So Madueke coming on, but I do feel for Trossard.
Yeah, I do, because he's been doing well, and it's the last thing you need. We touched on how heavily congested and competitive that position is for Arsenal. You'd be so disappointed to pick up an injury and just leave that door open for Madueke or Martinelli to step in.
The free kick's been given to Arsenal. I'm not sure they knew that the whistle had gone, but it's been brought back. Ball is played forward to Saka, so a free kick to Arsenal at the halfway line. So half-time is Sheffield United 1, Portsmouth 0. Sheffield United could be out of the bottom 3 tonight. Blackburn 0, QPR 0 is the other half-time score, and it is still West Brom 1, Birmingham 0 in the 8 o'clock kick-off. Arsenal moving it forward up towards their goal scorer Timber, who's up there with Saka, but
what a turn that is.
Yeah, Harry Kane, Bayern Munich win it back. Kane against Saliba. You know, that's as tough a challenge as you'll get against Saliba as a centre forward, but Harry Kane making it look easy on the halfway line.
Just spun him came into him, he just glanced the ball with the outside of his right boot and just dropped a shoulder to the left and spun to the right. Lovely move from Kane.
I've already thought in this match we've seen some confrontations we might see at the World Cup next summer. Thinking of Kimmich and Rice in the midfield, Kane and Saliba there. Mind you, that's a long way off. That was interesting, wasn't it? The World Cup draw news yesterday about the top 4 seeds being seeded in the knockout stages potentially if they win their groups. There's Elise crosses from the right hand side, but it's cleared away on the edge of the area and it's out of play for a throw into Bayern Munich. So if you just switched on to us on 5 Live tonight, second consecutive night of Champions League action. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. Third place Inter are still losing, and it is still PSG 0, Tottenham 1 as we've heard, and Liverpool 1, PSV 1. Tomorrow night, by the way, there will be commentary from the Europa League. The Celtic and Rangers matches will be on Sports Extra tomorrow night. The early kick-off, Feyenoord Celtic, and then Rangers Braga. So that you'll find on Sports Extra tomorrow evening. On 5 Live we'll have all of the European matches covered, including, really pleasingly I feel, Nottingham Forest against Malmo tomorrow night. Ball on the halfway line. Here's Eza, takes it back into his own half. Eza turns, and Upamecano went all the way with Eza into the opposition half there, but in the end the ball's out of play. That's disputed by the right back Stanisic to throw into to Arsenal on the halfway line. So 1-1 after Arsenal took the lead through the Timber header from the Saka corner. But then Lennart Karl, this might be a new name for you if you don't follow Bayern Munich closely, but he's all the rage there, this 17-year-old who made his debut at the end of last season at the FIFA Club World Cup. They liked him so much, they've given him a new contract. He joined their academy, so he's come through the Bayern academy, German under-21 international. It's not his first goal in the Champions League. Scored against Club Bruges in their big win earlier on in the league stage, their youngest scorer in the Champions League, Bayern Munich record. And now, having got a goal and an assist at the weekend against Freiburg, he took his equaliser extremely well, didn't he?
He looks the real deal, doesn't he?
He does.
He's got the relaxed body language, the swagger. When he's in the middle, he's playing in that number 10 role in behind Harry Kane. He's got the freedom just to pick up little bits of space in either side of the pitch. He looks a really good player.
Long pass forward for Arsenal. That was for Eza to chase, but it was touched back to goalkeeper Neuer by Stanisic. And then Elise swings a long pass. He's looking for Karl on the halfway line. Kane tries to play a ball through the middle for Karl, but Mosquera was able to cut that out. We haven't really mentioned, Matt, your specialist position. Mosquera coming in to play as the left-sided central defender alongside Saliba.
Yeah, I think we're all a little bit surprised that Hincapié wasn't playing. And
foul on Saka by Lima. They want a yellow card, and referee Guida duly produces it. And Mikel Arteta has also shown a yellow card for his reaction. And Bukayo Saka is on his feet as the Arsenal captain tonight. Mikel Arteta nods his head repeatedly, rather sarcastically, and then folds his arms rather pointedly, just to make sure he doesn't do anything else he shouldn't.
What more did he want there, Mikel Arteta? I don't understand. It was a yellow card.
I'm guessing Mikel Arteta maybe waved the imaginary yellow card, did he?
Oh.
Do you think?
I think it's more for his reaction, and he kind of like ran along the technical area into the vicinity of the fourth official, shouting and throwing his arms in the air. I'm not sure, but I thought it was handled properly. It was a foul. It was a cynical foul, and the referee got the yellow card out for Lima, who now has to be really careful. The last thing you want in the first half of the game is to have a yellow card against Saka. So I think that it was a decent outcome from that area of the pitch.
Perhaps surprisingly, because he does collect them. That is Mikel Arteta's first yellow card of the season.
Right.
As Arsenal bring the ball forward, but significantly as well, that was a yellow card for Lima. So he's on a booking up against Bukayo Saka. 1-1 the score, half-time approaching. 5 Live from the BBC. Ball played back centrally. Zubimendi curls one, Timber volleys it across, just over the top of the arriving Madueke, who couldn't get there, and Bayern Munich have been able to see it back to Neuer.
That's the second very good volleyed cross we've seen this evening. The first one led to the Bayern goal. This one's Timber over the top of Gnabry, and it's a lovely flighted volley, right-footed, side foot, just pops it back into that 6-yard box area. It's a slight shove in the back from Upamecano and Madueke there as well. Obviously been looked at.
No. They've looked at it and dismissed it, as Gnabry plays the ball back to Neuer. So 1-1 here, PSG 0, Tottenham 1, Liverpool 1, PSV 1. Wonder what that's doing to Tottenham in the league table. Just have a look at that. But Carl is able to get the ball down, and he turns and he gives the ball back to Elise on the right-hand side, and Elise now carries the ball into the area. He's up against Lewis Skelly, left-footed ball across. Kane controls, tries to drag it back. Mosquera does very well. Oh, Saliba's played it. Oh, it almost fell to Kane inside the box. Saliba cleared it into the back of Zubamendi, I think it was, and it very nearly fell off his backside into the path of Kane. But goalkeeper Raya was just able to come out.
Imagine that. I mean, that would have been a right cheek assist from Zubamendi at that moment. Straight, the last person you wanted to fall to is Harry Kane in the box as well. Very nearly got there.
Yeah, that would have been serious for Arsenal, but it would have had a touch of the comedy about it.
Cheeky.
Yeah. Saka back to Rice, curls it in. That's blocked on the edge of the penalty area, and then it's out of play for a throw into Arsenal down the left.
In the build-up to that, John, did you see the way that Carl took that ball down out of the air? It was spinning on the run, putting the brakes on, kind of half-volleyed Cruyff. We're seeing a replay of it now, the shot on the screen. It's a beautiful touch. Phenomenal stuff.
It was. That will be on Match of the Day tonight. That piece of skill. They'll be talking about Lennart Carl, who is he's not very big, is he?
No.
I've got him down as 5'6".
Yeah,
he
tiny.
Cannot be any more than that. And he's got he is quite, for a man of 5'6", or a teenager of 5'6", he's actually quite solidly built.
Yeah,
he's
for
got
a
a bit of
17-year-old.
Yeah, he's got a bit of the sort of messy build, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's got his hair shaved at the side, slightly floppy on top, little beard on the end of his chin, and 4 goals already this season. Doesn't turn 18 until February. 1-1 here at the Emirates, still Liverpool 1, PSV 1. Arsenal coming forward right into the penalty area, but Madueke can't latch onto that, and Bayern are able to clear it away. At Tottenham, in the table, the live table as it were, Tottenham are up to 5th there, so Bayern Munich top, Arsenal second, into 3rd, Real Madrid would be 4th, and then Tottenham in 5th. What have you spotted?
Saw a little goal come up there, wasn't there, for Paris?
Oh, was that another one?
Another one, maybe not. I just saw a notification pop up.
Did you? Anyway, we'll have news of that if indeed
I could be making that
did
up.
say that. And I think I have a feeling the eagle eyes of Matt Upson might be absolutely correct. I think we're going to be hearing from Alistair Bruce Ball very shortly. In fact, come in, Ali.
Yes, Spurs now dropping in that league table. They've conceded an equaliser in Paris, John, in the last minute of the first half. An absolutely unstoppable first-time swerving strike from Vitinha from the edge of the box, which just grazed the underneath of the crossbar and ended in the back of the net. Only really what Paris Saint-Germain deserved. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Spurs 1.
Yes, that table has changed. Real Madrid now 4th, PSG 5th, and that takes Tottenham all the way back down to 12th. Remember, you've got to finish in the top 8, but these are just the 5th matches, so there are still 3 more to play after this. But that's been an entertaining first half here at the Emirates. The top 2 level at 1-1 at half-time. Arsenal opening the scoring through a corner, set piece again, oh yay, Jurriën Timber scoring it, but Bayern Munich equalising 11 minutes later with a very good goal finished by the 17-year-old Lennart Carl, Matt Upson.
Yeah, he's probably been the talk of the first half, hasn't he? He's a very interesting, talented player, but I mean, it's very much a game of 2 teams physically well matched with each other, both like defending, take responsibility, get about the pitch well. It's been that kind of game, not a lot of room or space to really kind of manoeuvre, and every now and then there's a direct long ball option which both teams like to take. So, I mean, it's wide open, John.
He's also got a little bit of Ribéry about him as well, don't you?
He has the look, yeah, definitely.
Former Bayern Munich player. But there we are, half-time here at the Emirates. The players disappearing down the tunnel, and it is Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1.
I mean, we'll come on to the bigger picture of the game in a minute, Matt. But that equaliser is such a good goal. And every Bayern player touched it bar Kane in the build-up to that. I know the eventual goal was quite a direct goal, but they all touched it in the build-up to it. But what a goal.
Yeah, it's been patches of that kind of play, Chappers, of real control, but then it'll be direct and it'll be physical. And I mean, it was the ball from Kimmich, wasn't it, who hit that lovely diagonal.
Yes.
Lewis Skelly just momentarily switched off, maybe not quite narrow enough, didn't quite read the run of Gnabry over that side, got caught out, but the quality of the side foot cross and then the instinct of the young Leonard Carl to get in the box. I mean, he knows where to be and what to do, doesn't he? For a 17-year-old, he's finding his way around this pitch really nicely.
It's a high quality game though, isn't it?
Very, very high quality. It's got unbelievable focus and concentration levels mixed in with speed and physicality, and there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of when I say not a lot of room, there's not a lot of room for error. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be in the right place at the right time. Both teams got experienced campaigners who love to win, love to compete, love to dominate their area of the field, and it's got that feel to it. It's a top level game.
Okay, Matt, John, for the moment, thank you very much. Let's go to Anfield next. Liverpool against PSV. Lee Blakeman.
Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 1. A nightmare start for Liverpool, but they ended the half by far the better of the two teams. They conceded a penalty after just 5 minutes. Handball given against Virgil van Dijk. His arm was raised as a corner came in. I mean, it was almost a catch, to be honest with you. It was so clear.
It was like he was in a line out.
It was,
wasn't it?
It was. It was either rugby or it was basketball. I'm not quite sure what was going through his head, but he had the audacity to appeal it. Appeals fell on deaf ears. Perisic stepped up, scored it. Really well taken penalty. Liverpool level within 10 minutes. Gakpo with a shot well saved. Szoboszlai drilled in the rebound. Tidy finish. PSV since then have had one chalked off for offside, but Liverpool have seen Van Dijk at the bar. Ekitike has been denied by the keeper twice, and Salah has cleared the bar from the edge of the area a couple of times as well. Poor start, but Arne Slot's team on top since then. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 1.
All three games involving the English teams this evening level at 1-1. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Yes, and I guess you describe this one as a little bit of a turn-up for the books. Obviously, Sunday's capitulation in the derby demanded a response. It certainly got one from Spurs and Thomas Frank tonight. 1-1 at half-time in Paris. Little bit of a surprise in the system as well. We thought it might be the three centre-backs again. Archie Gray's playing in midfield for Tottenham, sort of 4-4-1-1 or a 4-4-2 with Kolo Muani and Richarlison up front. They've not seen a massive amount of the ball. I think they probably expected that. What that means is when you've got it, particularly in the final third, you've got to do something special with it. And check the Spurs goal out, the opening goal in the game, on the BBC highlights tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Lucas Bergvall away down the left-hand side. Little back heel flick. Archie Gray ran in behind him, floated a delicious cross into the far post. Kolo Muani had read that, leapt high, headed back across goal over the goalkeeper, and Richarlison was onto that and headed it in from close range. PSG did deserve their equaliser. They've had a lot of pressure. It eventually came from a Vitinha strike, and another great goal as well, Mark. When the ball, for a right-footed player, the ball is coming across you from the left, to hit that first time, quite often you can sort of shank that, slice that, but he got a lovely bit of a sort of away swing swerve on it into the top corner of the goal. Vicario couldn't do anything about it. PSG 1, Spurs 1.
Are you talking from personal experience there?
I knew you were going to ask that. What, in terms of the shank, yes. Not in terms of striking that purely, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Ali, thank you. Start by Dave with us this evening as well. What stood out for you in Arsenal Bayern? I think what Matt was saying about the ability of both teams to switch it up from possession to going direct.
Yeah, no, very, very good. Joshua Kimmich completely controlling the game in midfield in terms of pass numbers, but also moving the ball on. Just in terms of some stats, Mark, Jurrien Timber has scored or assisted 5 goals for Arsenal this season, one fewer than he managed in the entirety of last campaign in terms of goal involvements. But Lennon Carl is the absolute star of that first half. Scored or assisted a goal every 83 minutes for Bayern this season. Only Lamine Yamal has scored more goals in the Champions League in history as a 17-year-old now, with his 2 goals in the campaign this season. So those are the 2 things that kind of really stood out in that first half, Mark.
Oh, and in either of the other ones? Spurs, Paris Saint-Germain in particular?
So just looking at the Vitinha goal was sensational. If you're not seeing that, obviously Ali spoke about that previously. He's again dominating midfield in terms of passes and controlling the tempo as you'd expect. And the Liverpool game obviously quite stop-started, but Liverpool once again dominating. Arne Slot has not given PSV the possession with 66% of the ball in the first half. And of course Dominik Szoboszlai, the standout player for Liverpool.
Let's go around the other games then in the Champions League. We'll focus on the 8 o'clocks. Earlier a win for Copenhagen. They beat Karat by 3-2. Pafos and Monaco ended 2 apiece. John Bennett across the others.
And Real Madrid was stunned early on in their game. They conceded against Olympiacos, but then a Kylian Mbappe masterclass. It's Olympiacos 1, Real Madrid 3 at half-time. 3 goals in 7 minutes from Mbappe. A one-on-one chance set up by Vinicius Jr. A header from a Goulet cross. Then he finished after a wonderful Camavinga ball over the top. So Real Madrid in a great position there. Meanwhile, Inter's 100% record under threat. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Inter 0. Julian Alvarez with the goal. It was initially ruled out due to a handball, but then it was given. Sporting 2, Club Brugge 0. An interesting goal scorer there, Giovanni Quenda, 18 years old, on his way to Chelsea next year. And Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Atalanta 0. Ademola Lookman has hit the post for Atalanta, but so far it's goalless.
OK, thank you very much. There are 5 games in the Championship this evening. 4 of them kicked off at 7:45. So they're into the second half in these games. Goalless between Millwall and bottom of the table Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield United lead Portsmouth by 1-0. If it stays that way, Sheffield United will be out of the bottom 3 this evening. Oxford would drop in. Blackburn and QPR are goalless. Wrexham lead Bristol City by 1-0. There's an 8 o'clock kickoff at the Hawthorns, and West Brom lead Birmingham by 1-0. Quite an early goal in that game. Alex Mowat with it after 12 minutes. We will be back for the second half at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Bayern 1 at the break. But at 4 minutes to 9 o'clock, here's the latest BBC News.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
With the BBC News on 5 Live, I'm Alison Hughes. The Chancellor Rachel Reeves has announced tax rises worth £26 billion in her budget. She said national insurance and income tax thresholds will remain frozen for 3 years beyond 2028. Nimesh Shah is a personal tax expert and boss of the tax advisory firm Blick Rothenberg. He told 5 Live it would have a huge effect.
The Office of Budget Responsibility, who set out what these policies are going to raise in terms of revenue and what the government then spends, they say that around 900,000 extra people are going to be paying high rate tax come 2031. That's a huge number of people that are getting dragged into 40% income tax because all these thresholds and allowances are just staying static whilst actually inflation is going up, wages are going up as well.
Other measures include a rise in both levels of the minimum wage and an increase in basic and new state pensions of 4.8%. Also from April, the 2-child benefits cap will be scrapped. The Conservative MP, Helen Whately, is the Shadow Secretary of State for Work and Pensions. She told 5 Live the Chancellor had made the wrong choices.
If you're a family who's earning their own living, paying their own way, you're making difficult choices of whether you can afford to have children or not. You make those difficult choices. But now, actually, your finances are going to be made even harder. You're going to struggle even more because your taxes are going up. And your taxes are going to go up to give extra money to people on benefits, to be able to have more children. I mean, that's fundamentally unfair.
Regulated rail fares for journeys in England will be frozen next year for the first time since 1996. The 5p cut in fuel duty will be extended until September before it rises again over a 6-month period. A new mileage-based charge on electric vehicles will come in from 2028. And at the same time, what's been described as a mansion tax will be brought in on properties worth more than £2 million. In other news, 2 National Guardsmen have been shot in Washington, D.C., not far from the White House. Donald Trump, who's in Florida, says they've been critically injured. Our State Department correspondent Tom Bateman is there.
What I was told was there were National Guardsmen standing guard outside this metro station. The witness I spoke to heard the gunshots from his car, moved forward, then had to get in pretty quickly to the side of the street here. And I've then seen some images of the aftermath of that with 2 National Guardsmen who were down, being treated by medics at that point. A third person was also being treated, not in uniform. Not clear if that was a civilian or if it was the gunman.
Officials say a suspect has been taken into custody. A man has pleaded guilty to driving a car into a crowd of football fans at the Liverpool Victory Parade in May. Paul Doyle, who's from the Croxteth area of the city, admitted charges including dangerous driving and causing grievous bodily harm with intent. More than 130 people were wounded. DCI John Fitzgerald is from Merseyside Police.
What should have been a day of celebration for the city turned into a distressing and frightening experience, which we know continues to have physical and psychological impact on many people. It is only by sheer luck that nobody was killed because of Doyle's deliberate actions. We hope that the knowledge that Doyle is now facing the prospect of a considerable prison sentence will be able to help those affected and move on with their lives.
And the Hong Kong chief executive says 36 people, including a firefighter, have died and nearly 300 are missing after a fire broke out at a high-rise residential development. More than 800 firefighters are at the scene in the northern Tai Po district. 3 people have been arrested.
My name's Steve Bracknell, assistant manager at Royal Oak FC. You may have seen me online going viral. Viral sensation. And now, the BBC have given me the chance to set the footballing world back to rights.
This could be a great opportunity for us, lads, a podcast for the BBC.
Can I just say, what's a podcast?
Brilliant. Great start. Well done, Bob. Brilliant. We can completely show utter transparency to Royal Oak fans. I'll use my charm. Gift at Gab. Game's gone. The Steve Bracknell Podcast. Watch on YouTube. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports, the Champions League with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
All English clubs involved in the Champions League tonight level at 1-1. Liverpool at home to PSV, Arsenal at home to Bayern, and Spurs away to Paris Saint-Germain. The second halves are on the way. Switching to rugby union, the World Cup winner Abby Dow has retired from the sport at the age of 28. The England wing is now planning on returning to a career in mechanical engineering.
I'm not too indecisive as a human. I like to think things through logically and make that decision myself. I 100% could go to another World Cup. I could go to a Lions tour. I do appreciate their big things that could have been on the radar. I play rugby not for the big events. Well, I obviously do, but I don't base my life around them either. I'm really happy. I couldn't have been more proud of the lot that I've given. And I personally felt like I pushed my career to this World Cup because in my head I was only ever going to do one. And I'm just ready to go back to that other side of my life. Although rugby is an absolutely incredible thing and you shouldn't turn it down easily, but you should also understand that it is a sacrifice. The way that you play, the way how much it gives and how much it takes from you as a human being. Like I've come out with 4 different breaks in my body. That's not great. And that's not even including my nose. Like it does take out of you physically. It was important for me that I was playing it for the right reasons. And I didn't want to play just because there was another accolade to achieve.
Abby Dow, who has retired from rugby union at the age of 28. Elsewhere in the sport, Tom Curry is available for sale this Friday against Exeter, despite ongoing concerns of disciplinary action following a reported tunnel bust-up after the match against Argentina for England at the weekend. Meanwhile, Sale have agreed to sign the Stade Francais centre Joe Marchant from next season, opening the door for a potential England return for him. Let's just go into the Championship. Wrexham, Bristol City this evening. Nathan Alban.
Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0, Mark. The home side in front early through the Wales international Nathan Broadhead. A cracker of a curler from distance. Bristol City, though, have reacted well since the break. Anis Mehmeti has stung the palms of Arthur Okonkwo from range. Our God, it's Wrexham 1, Bristol City 0.
Sheffield United have got a second at home to Portsmouth. Sheffield United 2, Portsmouth 0 at Bramall Lane. Still goalless between Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday, and Blackburn and QPR. Wrexham, as you've just heard from Nathan, still lead Bristol City by a goal to 0, and West Brom are 1-up on Birmingham as they wait for the second half to get underway. The Hawthorns teams coming back out at the Emirates, 1-1 here. Let's rejoin Matt and John.
Yeah, Bayern Munich team are already out there. The Arsenal players just emerging now, sprinting out of the tunnel, red shirts, white sleeves, white shorts, red socks, and Bayern Munich in the almost all black kit with the white trim. So 1-1 it is. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. Jurrien Timber heading Arsenal in front. Lennart Karl equalising, and believe it or not, that is the first goal that Arsenal have conceded at home in the group or league phase of the Champions League since 2016, a 2-2 draw with PSG, which was actually an Iwobi own goal. But of course they haven't always been in the Champions League since then, but nevertheless, when they've been in it, and certainly under Mikel Arteta, they've been very strong in the group stages. Anyway, second half about to begin. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. Arsenal with Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Mosquera and Lewis Skelly, Zubamendi and Rice, captain Saka, Eza and substitute Madueke, who came on for Trossard in the first period, and then Mikel Merino as the man through the middle, in the continued absence of Gyökeres and Havertz, who aren't too far away from returning, Mikel Arteta was saying yesterday. Second half begins, ball pumped downfield and it's out of play for a Bayern Munich goal kick, and they have Neuer in goal. At the back four, Stanisic on the right, Upamecano, Tar and Lima, then Kimmich and Pavlovic, Elise on the right, Lennart Karl in the middle, Gnabry on the left, and Harry Kane through the middle. He's not really had a chance, Matt Upson, has he, Kane, so far?
No, I think they've had a half a chance, but nearly ricocheted off of an Arsenal player, Zubamendi, into Harry Kane. But he's done a lot of his work in the build-up play, hasn't he, in tracking back and holding the ball up, and the usual stuff that we see Harry Kane do, but he's not had anything in the box at all.
So still people coming back to their seats. As we were saying on Sunday, Mikel Arteta has seemingly ordered that the televisions are switched off on the concourses now at the Emirates Stadium to try and encourage people back into their seats, but still lots and lots of empty red seats as the second half is already into its second minute. Commentary on PSG Tottenham you'll find on Sports Extra. That is currently level at 1-1, as is Liverpool 1, PSV 1. And Bayern playing the ball back to Neuer in front of a North Bank stand, passing it out to Gnabry, who then plays it all the way back to the Bayern Munich goalkeeper, Serge Gnabry. Didn't happen from at Arsenal, just 18 competitive first team appearances, then remember went on loan to West Brom, but he's made quite an impact at Bayern Munich and indeed for the German national team. Karl with a heavy touch, and that falls to Timber, who's passed forward towards the edge of the area, but Zubamendi can't take it on. However, it bounces to Saka, right foot shot, flashes away over the top of Neuer's bar, and it took a deflection there. It's a corner, deflected on the way over.
Yeah, a little bit of a scrappy scenario in the middle of the pitch. The ball ends up wide with Saka. Arsenal regain possession. It's a first-time pass forwards from Timber into the front, and it's such a bad ball from Kim. It really miscues it straight to Saka. Can't believe it's come to him, and on his right foot, not his favoured side, just concentrates on the contact, hits it cleanly, but simple tip over the crossbar for Neuer.
Yeah, Neuer got a glove. I think it might have been going over anyway, but he's made absolutely sure. It's a corner. Arsenal scored from their previous corner. This one is taken short. Then back to Saka. Saka trying to find a position, gives it back to Eza just outside the penalty area. He scoops it in, left-footed across the box. That's headed down and away by Stanisic, still rattling around the edge of the box, and Harry Kane is back there near his own penalty spot to head it safely back to Neuer, who delivers it downfield. Elise is able to take that down with a lovely touch with the outside of his left boot. He's tall and lean, Michael Elise. Don't forget, he was born in London, and he, like Eza, started his career with Arsenal, and the two of them ended up at Crystal Palace. Our colleague Alex Howell Got a lovely article on the website about the two of them, how they played chess together at Crystal Palace, and now up against one another in the Champions League as ball is passed forward, overhit through by Gnabry into the penalty area, and Raya can pick up. So 1-1 in all 3 Champions League matches involving the English clubs tonight. And Eza fouled centre field, so that is a free kick to Arsenal. With the scores as they are, incidentally, Manchester City, Newcastle and Tottenham, all 3 are outside the top 8 in the league table. And of course that could change over the course of the next 3/4 of an hour, depending on what happens in Paris. Manchester City, who will play Real Madrid next in the Bernabeu. Arsenal attacking down the right, and a corner is won off Lima.
Yeah, Lima straight out to Saka, 1v1. Saka happy just to take him down the line and force the tackle to win the corner, almost intentionally. Arsenal hadn't quite got into the box and thought maybe a corner might be the best option, and they're just setting up that set piece now. Bayern, they're the same setup. There's a host of black shirts, all zonal in the front to the mid part of the 6-yard box, and every Arsenal player gathered outside the back post, ready to make that run in.
Surprising thing was that they took the previous corner a few minutes ago short, having scored with the ball that was whipped into the near post in the first half. Little steps by Saka, then with the corner, in and it goes, and that's headed away by Harry Kane, but the whistle had already gone from referee Marco Guida, who tonight is refereeing at the Emirates for the first time, that has already refereed Harry Kane this month. He was the referee in Tirana.
Yeah, I thought Vincent Kompany was going to have something to say about that, because Bayern defend the corner perfectly, and he's gone straight up to the 4th official to say, well, we've got to face another corner now.
Yeah, and he's well out of his coaching area, Vincent Kompany, and now reluctantly returning there. So they do again, because the whistle went. This is the second taking of this corner. Saka waiting to take this. Harry Kane has positioned himself at the near post. I think it looks as though he's going to take charge. In it comes from Saka. Marino with a chance. That's blocked. Still rattling around. Now it's chipped across by Timber. Took a deflection. Loops in the air. That's half headed away. Rice gets a header on it on the edge of the box. And then that is cleared further away by Kimmich. Bayern Munich struggling with that. Ball angled back. Then the chance for the shot on the turn from Marino, but he was off balance, twisting. And high and wide into the lower tier of the North Bank stand. So after that, Bayern doing well to survive that. It remains Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. Alistair Bruce Ball has more news on PSG Tottenham.
Yeah, Spurs back in front early in the second half. English team scores from set piece. Shocker, a Pedro Porro corner beyond the far post, headed back across goal by Richarlison. Brilliant bit of work by Archie Gray, who just got a toe on it before the goalkeeper could get there. That effort was headed off the line, and then Kolo Muani against the club he's on loan from with a cracking right foot volley, and Marquinhos could only head it into his own net. Kolo Muani's goal, PSG 1, Spurs 2.
So that will have Tottenham back up to 5th place in the league table, and it drops the holders, Paris Saint-Germain, down to 11th place, so outside the top 8 that they all want to finish in. We had a stoppage there, Matt. What was going on there? The referee was involved in the centre circle.
I didn't see. I was busy looking at the replay of the goal, because it was a chance there, the corner from Arsenal, the second corner that came in. And again, Marino, I mean, we've seen Marino run and head the ball. He's excellent in the air. He's got a brilliantly. He's just free to run into an area, and it's only Tar that jumps up and just about bumps him mid-air to stop him. He's going to get a clean header to score, and he just puts him off at the final second. But I think you're running such a risk, allowing someone like Marino just to run into the box at his will, unopposed, and they get away with it, Bayern. But you can just sense that the right delivery comes in. Arsenal are going to have another chance to score from a corner.
Yeah, Bayern have struggled. Back to Anfield, Lee Blakeman.
Liverpool are behind again. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 2. Through ball down the centre, picked out Gust Hill, 8 yards out, put it straight past Mamadishvili. Liverpool have been sluggish in the second half so far, and now they trail once more. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 2.
Another goal back for Olympiacos. Mehdi Taremi has scored, so it's Olympiacos 2, Real Madrid 3 after the Mbappe hat-trick. And Millwall have taken the lead against bottom of the Championship, Sheffield Wednesday. Femi Aziz has scored again for Millwall, which is his 5th goal of the season. So Millwall winning 1-0. Free kick for Bayern. Kimmich takes it in deep, but far too deep, and that is right into the outstretched arms of Raya, who catches it and then underarms it out ever so gently into the path of Rice, and Rice running free over the halfway line, still glowing, hair flowing, cross into the box. That's deflected behind. There's half a shout that it might have struck an arm of Konrad Laimer in the box, but the referee quickly dismissed that. But it is a corner to Arsenal.
Yeah, good luck catching Declan Rice when he's got a gallop on with space in front of him. I mean, he really does chew up the ground, doesn't he? Opens his legs. No midfield player's going to be able to reel him back in. Decides to cross it himself, and it might just hit the shoulder or the arm of Laimer, but his hand was down by his side.
Yes, I saw pictures earlier of him walking into the ground, Declan Rice, in those sort of yellow and black tracksuits, the sort of retro. He's got a bit of stubble on his face, he had a baseball cap on his head. He looked like he'd stepped straight out of 1978. Saka is going to take this corner then for Arsenal. Let's see what happens here. The referee's on his toes. Saka into the 6-yard box. Kane is there to head it away in front of his goalkeeper, Neuer. Back to Saka again. Saka, left-footed ball, good-looking delivery. Marino with the header, but it's straight at Neuer. Didn't get anything like the contact on that, even though it was a free header at the back post, straight at the keeper.
Yeah, but again, for me, it's free header. OK, doesn't get the contact, but you cannot leave Marino free in the box. He's just too good in the air.
More news on the PSG-Tottenham match from Alistair Bruce Ball.
Spurs held the lead for all of 2 minutes. PSG have a second equaliser. It's actually Vitinha 2, Spurs 2 this evening, and an equally good strike from the Paris Saint-Germain midfielder. This one with his left foot, edge of the box, curled it beyond Vicario. PSG 2, Spurs 2.
Oh, chance for Bayern Munich here. Karl into the box on the right-hand side. He got away from Lewis Skelly, but from the angle, a weak shot straight at Raya, who just dropped on it, made a routine save.
I mean, he's some technician, John, this lad. Honestly, takes the ball out by the touchline. He's got, you mentioned Messi earlier about how he played. He's got that unbelievable shimmy to send anyone for a dummy, and he did that to Timber brilliantly there.
Yeah, and now Arsenal come forward. Eza with the pass to Madueke, and he is challenged by Elise, and it's blocked out of play for a throw into Arsenal down the left. Yeah, he is unquestionably a talent. Bayern Munich's number 42, playing in the central role. We were talking at half-time, weren't we, Matt, about as Arsenal tried to build something. Zubimendi, and Madueke's cross hits Stanisic, bounces up in the air, trying to keep the bouncing ball in, but have not managed to do that. And it is a corner. Kimmich got to the bouncing ball, but couldn't prevent it from bouncing behind the line, and it's an Arsenal corner from the left-hand side. Yes, this Bayern Munich midfield three, Kimmich, Pavlovic and Karl, it wouldn't be a stretch of the imagination to see them starting in the World Cup for Germany, although Florian Wirtz would probably have something to say about that. Corner to Arsenal. Now this is the first one that Arsenal have had from the left, so this is Rice's first corner delivery. And here it goes, it's a deep one to the back post, which is headed down and wide of the far post. Could have been Marino.
He can't believe it. Marino cannot believe it. Should be 2-1. How many times are you going to allow him to drift into the box unopposed and win the ball? He just doesn't really aggressively head the ball. He gets up, the delivery spot on. He's got his head in his hands because he knows how big a chance that was. Should score.
If that's Gabriel on the end of that,
I think he's just going to attack it with a little bit more rigour, John. He's going to be a bit more aggressive in that area. I mean, he gets in there, Marino, but that final little bit to go and head the ball and really smash into it, he doesn't quite finish it off. Whereas I think a Gabriel, he's got all that momentum and force with the way he goes in there, and he just goes all guns blazing.
This is the Champions League on 5 Live from the BBC. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 0. Champions League match of the day on BBC One later. Madueke down the left, and there's a little touch on him from, well, Upamecano, who is already on a yellow card, or was it Elise who got the crucial touch to bring down Madueke?
No, I thought it was Upamecano, and I think the referee had a little couple of second think about it. It looked like Upamecano came out for the tackle. Elise with the ball on the left.
Or
It might
was
have
it
been
Elise who just clipped his heels first? No,
Maybe.
it wasn't. It was Upamecano who stepped in on him. And now Vincent Kompany is unhappy, and he's been shown a yellow card. So both coaches have been yellow carded, and Vincent Kompany is being ordered to go back in his baggy outfit back to the Bayern Munich coaching area.
Perhaps he's got the yellow for wearing those trousers that you so gracefully donned.
A crime against fashion. Yellow carded for that. So both of them are on yellow cards, and that's certainly a talking point. Rice is going to take this in. Oh, lovely delivery, it's bouncing all the way through and headed wide by Mosquera. I thought Neuer was going to come and get that, and Mosquera arrived onto it and headed it down via a deflection, and it's another Arsenal corner. They're knocking on the door, Arsenal.
Well, it was like slow motion, to be honest. The ball came in, nobody really dealt with it. I don't think Neuer can really make the move because there's so many players running across the face of him. He doesn't know who's going to touch it. Timber has a go, it drifts past Kane. Yep. And then he makes a good save at the end, or he just comes out and puts his hands up because otherwise Mosquera's putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it hit him, bounced up, hit his arm and bounced wide. Here comes the corner, played into the back post again. Marino was after it, was headed away for Bayern Munich. See, Mbappe scored another one, that's 4 on the night. Olympiacos 2, Real Madrid 4. Mbappe has got all 4. And Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Atalanta 1. Ademola Lookman with the goal for Atalanta, who have now made it 2-0. Ederson has made it Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Atalanta 2. Back to Alistair Bruce Ball.
5th goal of the game, and Paris Saint-Germain now in front. Fabian Ruiz has a lethal left foot, and Tottenham actually undone, trying to play out from the back. Christian Romero's ball into Kolo Omani. He lost it. It was played into Fabian Ruiz, and he has swept the finish past Vicario. PSG 3, Spurs 2.
So 3-2 to PSG. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. Still Liverpool 1, PSV 2. Looks like Sheffield United are on the way to victory now. Gustavo Hamer has made it 3-0 to Sheffield United against Portsmouth. Inter have equalised against Atletico Madrid. Piotr Zielinski with that one. Back to the Championship, Nathan Albon.
Goals from corners, the theme tonight. John, Wrexham have doubled their lead. It's 2-0 against Bristol City. George Thomason, corner from the right, goes in off the far post and in off the goalkeeper Radek Vitek. Nearly an Olympico, John. Wrexham 2, Bristol City 0.
The Olympico. If you listen to the commentator's view, you'll be aware of the discussion on that, the podcast on the BBC Sounds app. Wrexham are gently climbing the Championship table. That would be 7 league matches unbeaten for them. And I see Atalanta have now gone 3-0 up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Rice running away with this for Arsenal into the penalty area. Still going. Rice shooting cross goal. And somehow it's blocked out. Ball was delivered across goal. Rice went for it. Actually turned out to be, I think, into the path of Saka, who unbelievably was not able to plant it into the back of the net, and the Bayern goal survives and it remains 1-1.
I mean, Arsenal have had the last 10 minutes or so, John, really dominating this goal. I've barely looked to my right-hand side towards the Arsenal box. It's all been middle of the pitch and down to the left in Neuer's box, but Declan Rice there showing why the Arsenal fans just love him. What a power play that was from him. I mean, his first touch to get the ball out of his feet, and he runs, and as he knocks that ball in front of him into the space, he absolutely burns past Kimmich. He's in on Neuer. He tries to slip it with his left foot. It's a good save with the foot of Neuer that steps it across, and somehow it doesn't just fall into an oncoming Arsenal player to tap it in, but brilliant midfield run from Rice.
Yeah, very good save actually from Neuer again. That's a couple of saves now, which classic Neuer actually. You think, did he know much about that? But he's always able to be in the right place at the right time.
He never gets his angles wrong, does he?
Well, rarely gets his angles wrong. I can think of a couple of exceptions.
The odd time.
Yeah, but nobody's faultless, Matt.
No, not often.
Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. It was De Catalara who scored that third goal for Atalanta. About time we heard from Lee Blakeman again at Anfield.
Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 2. Szoboszlai's just had a shot really well saved. Gakpo's put a header over from 5 yards, but more bad news for Liverpool. Hugo Ekitike has hobbled off injured. He came on to start, he's just gone off, wasn't moving well at all, so Isak's on to take his place. Liverpool 1, PSV 2.
Whistle goes, and Bukayo Saka can't understand it. He's had a free kick given against him for a challenge on Lima, and no one in a red and white scarf can believe it either inside the Emirates, but free kick Bayern.
I actually can't believe it. I don't think Lima can believe it. He's got a foul for that. Poor decision. He was just off balance, and Saka was coming around him. There was no foul at all. And they've won a free kick, which is important actually, because they've been under pressure by in the last 10 minutes. They've hanging on a little bit.
Yes, they have, but they've withstood it.
It's got a sucker punch feeling to this game. All the pressure, Arsenal dominating corners in the box, and just something like this right here now.
Here's Elise sent away down the right hand side. Lewis Skelly comes across, still Elise weaving him one way and the other, takes it onto the byline, goes round Lewis Skelly, Elise into the box, the shot is blocked. Declan Rice was in the right place. Rice came across and was able to position himself in front of Elise, and that was the end of that. But Elise went round Lewis Skelly.
It's been done a couple of times this evening with that little shift of body weight and then a nudge, and that first 5 yards is just getting the wrong side of Lewis Skelly.
Here they come again. Thomas Tuchel is here, by the way, watching. Left Lewis Skelly out of his squad for this month's World Cup qualifiers. Bayern now in possession, deep inside the Arsenal half. Upamecano back to Elise. Upamecano, then Pavlovic. Out it goes to the left-hand side to the Austrian World Cup player, Lima, who is dispossessed by Saka, and now Eza is able to carry it on, but quickly black shirts are all around him, and he has to halt the momentum. Excellent from Bayern there. They were back in position in a flash.
You could see it, couldn't you? You just saw all the black shirts go straight into position, know your role. That reaction time was brilliant.
Mikel Arteta after that from Elise on Lewis Skelly. Calafiori suddenly been called forward by Mikel Arteta.
I think intense game, lack of match minutes, young player. You've got to take all this into account. He's still such a young player. I mean, this is the top level of the game physically, and if you're not playing week in, week out, it's so hard to then step in and match these players. It's a big ask.
1-1 here. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1. That exciting match. PSG 3, Tottenham 2. You can listen to that on Sports Extra. Liverpool 1, PSV 2. 5 Live Champions League final score is available on the red button and the iPlayer. And that highlights will be on Match of the Day. The clips available on the iPlayer from the Champions League from 10 o'clock tonight. Ali Bruce Ball has further news on the PSG Tottenham match.
Yeah, bad news for Spurs. They've conceded a fourth, a scruffy one. This one came from a PSG corner into the near post. Spurs couldn't quite get it away. Pap Sarr got in a bit of a muddle, had a chance to clear, didn't do it properly. It fell to Willian Pacho, the centre-back, and he curled a shot into the bottom corner. PSG 4, Spurs 2.
So that looks as though the holders are going to move into the top 8. In the Championship, QPR are winning at Blackburn. Paul Smith, Blackburn 0, QPR 1, and we're now going to see these changes for Arsenal, because Martinelli is also making his comeback. Gabriel Martinelli, who has not played in the last 5 matches, is an unused substitute as he came back at the weekend for the North London derby. So a double change now, and Mikel Arteta presumably as well has got to think about Sunday, that mammoth game between the top 2 in the Premier League. So it's Bukayo Saka who's coming off, Martinelli on, and as we've said, Lewis Skelly being replaced by Calafiori.
Yeah, so Declan Rice grabs the skipper's armband off of Bukayo Saka. He's next in line. I mean, it's the fact that you can take Saka off in this game. I mean, previous seasons he stayed on, hasn't he? And he's played and played and played, and it's nice to see that Arsenal now have that capability at 60, 65 minutes to go. No, you can come off.
Yeah, and I imagine this was probably, whatever the situation was in the match, Saka was coming off now.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, because that match on Sunday is the most important match of the week for Arsenal.
Huge.
If Arsenal lose this, if Bayern do get that sucker punch that you were talking about, probably it's not going to dramatically affect things for Arsenal in terms of getting through.
No, it won't affect the outcome of them going through to the next stage. You wouldn't have thought.
No. Arsenal 1, Bayern Munich 1, and that change coming halfway through the second half. So Lewis Skelly is off. Calafiori, who did actually have a bit of a problem after the international window. Rice now to Eza. Calafiori running forward, whips the ball across, and it's in at the back post. Madueke forcing it over the line, and Arsenal are back in front against the German champions 2-1.
It's been coming. You've really felt the energy build in the stadium, the opportunity, Bayern not really getting out, not having any control like they had in the first half. And it's Calafiori just coming on off the bench, who whips a delightful ball with his left foot. They turn the ball over, Arsenal. He runs on the inside, down the line. It's a poor ball from Upamecano into midfield. Rice steals it. Calafiori on the inside of Eze slips the ball, doesn't even look up. Calafiori, he knows with his left foot he's going to hit it first time, and credit to Madueke, the ball's bouncing up in the air. He arrives inside Lema, gambles a little bit earlier, and he manages to get the finishing touch, which wasn't that easy because it did come up about knee high. Great finish.
Yeah, left foot, bundle it over the line from 6 yards out. And that's not a bad time for Noni Madueke to score his first goal for Arsenal in his 8th appearance, with Thomas Tuchel watching, and he's missed the recent England matches because of injury, but we know that Thomas Tuchel likes him, and he'll probably like him all the more after that. Arsenal 2, Bayern Munich 1, and the referee, as Arsenal break forward, the referee bringing it back for a free kick to Bayern in the central third of the field. Back to Anfield, Lee Blakeman.
Where PSV have a third. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 3. 2 substitutes combining. Pepe with the shot, hit the bottom of the post, and Druek followed up, shot across goal, and some fans around us here in this main stand have seen enough. They're heading for the exit. 17 minutes to go. Liverpool behind again. They trail PSV at Anfield by 3 goals to 1.
Liverpool heading for another defeat. Vincent Kompany is preparing a couple of changes. The on loan Nicholas Jackson, we know him very well from the Premier League, is going to come on, and also young Tom Bischoff, the midfielder. But Arsenal winning again at the Emirates, and free kick for Bayern that Calafiori is able to clear away. Yes, Madueke scoring his first goal for Arsenal as the ball's played into the box, and Gnabry swinging a leg at it as it landed over. He just couldn't get a touch on it as it flew over him into the 6-yard box and beyond the goal and behind for a goal kick. And that is the end of the action for Gnabry, who had an injury, missed the match of the weekend, so he's running off, seems okay, and he is going to, as I say, be replaced by Nicholas Jackson, and Bischoff coming on, and also Konrad Laimer, who's on the yellow card, is going to be replaced by Bischoff, who is a midfielder, and it does look as though Bischoff is going to play as the left back.
Yeah, he's gone straight over to that left back position.
Alphonso Davies is out injured at the moment. They're expecting him back in the new year, and Musiala as well. Jamal Musiala, who's not been able to play at all this season, is that's not bad, missing those two players, and still able to have the season that they're doing. But Bayern are facing the possibility of their first defeat of the season here against Arsenal, the Premier League leaders. Last season, Bayern Munich's first defeat of the campaign was also in England. That match at Villa Park, where John Duran memorably scored the winning goal for Aston Villa. 2-1 Arsenal lead. This would take Arsenal to the top of the table in the league phase, were it to stay like this. The Arsenal fans trying to do their bit. This is not bad as a follow-up, is it? After the win against Tottenham on Sunday, and the energy that quite naturally went into that if they were able to win this against Bayern Munich.
It's not a bad week for Arsenal fans, is it? I mean, in terms of entertainment and quality of games, I mean, North London derby this, and then Chelsea. Huge week, and if Arsenal can come out of the first 2 games with 2 wins, it'll be bubbling with confidence going into Sunday.
Yeah, it's a little memorable of last season. I remember when Liverpool won against Real Madrid in the midweek and then beat Manchester City at the weekend, and they were statement wins.
It can carry on. It can really can flow on to the next game.
Yeah, Ali Bruce Ball has more on PSG Tottenham.
Well, incredible this. 7th goal of the game. Spurs have this one. PSG 4, Spurs 3. Kolo Muani's scored his first 2 goals for Tottenham tonight against his parent club. Vitinha at fault for this one. He lost the ball inside his own half. Bentancur poked it to Kolo Muani. A resounding finish into the bottom corner. 20 minutes to play. PSG 4, Tottenham 3.
Oh, great moment in this match. Declan Rice tackles Harry Kane on the halfway line, and he gets up, and the crowd celebrate with him. That's the best reaction I've seen to a tackle, probably since Conor Bradley on Kylian Mbappe at Anfield last season.
Oh, did the Arsenal fans like that? Wow. I mean, it was right in front of us as well, in front of the technical area. Harry Kane trying to run down the line, and Rice goes to ground. He does win a good chunk of the ball, but kicks Kane up in the air as well. And the Arsenal fans, well, the whole stands out of their seat and applauding Declan Rice, and then he gets up and kind of waves his hand and beats his chest. Really enjoyed the tackle himself.
Yeah, we need to make a note of that, Matt. We'll be mentioning that after 10 o'clock tonight. Tony Livesey will be on air, by the way, at 10:30 with more of the budget fallout. So Tony's standing by. He'll be crunching the numbers. I can see him even as I speak, as Raya clears the ball out of play near the halfway line. How long have we got to go? 15 minutes to go. So Arsenal 15 minutes away from winning against Bayern Munich.
There's still enough time for another 3 goals in the Spurs game as well, I think. The sound of it. We'll have ABB on in a minute again.
We will, almost certainly. That is on Sports Extra if you want to listen to that. Conor McNamara and Paul Robinson will have had their hands full with that. And yes, Arsenal closing in on what would be their first win against Bayern Munich since 2015. Remarkably, Arsenal have played Bayern Munich more than any other team in the Champions League in this competition. Here's Elise moving into the penalty area, dancing, brilliant, very tight, and in the end Martinelli actually is able to get a touch on the ball, gives it to Eza. Eza's passed entry. Neuer's come out of his goal. Martinelli's touched it past him. Kimmich is trying to get back, but he can't. Martinelli rolls it into the empty net, and Arsenal have a 3rd goal and are on their way to victory over the German champions. Bayern Munich surely are beaten. Neuer coming so far out of his goal. It just needed a touch from Martinelli, which he got. And Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1 is the score.
Wow, Bayern really committing players forward. But there's one pass in this move, John, that is absolute top class, and it's Mikel Merino. What a ball he plays first touch. He wraps the ball into the centre of the pitch. I'm not sure as to what player it was, but that ball then goes straight into Martinelli over the top. It's Eze, and he just dinks it over the top to Martinelli. I mean, Neuer makes a massive gamble. He's so far out of his goal, John. He really is. I don't think Martinelli can see him. He just has his first touch, and then it just takes it past him, and then it's a simple tap into an empty net, because Kimmich is not going to make it back against the pace of Martinelli. Brilliant breakaway goal.
That was reminiscent of, you remember Neuer for Germany against South Korea, which, if I remember rightly, was watched by Alistair Bruce Ball, who has more news on PSG Tottenham.
PSG 5, Spurs 3, a Vitinha hat-trick. The 3rd goal coming from the penalty spot for the Portuguese midfielder. Romero's handball was blocking a Vitinha shot. He's taken the penalty, stuck it away. 8th goal in the game. PSG 5, Spurs 3.
Well, we're in the 78th minute here at an Emirates Stadium that is resounding with noise as the ball is passed forward for Madueke to chase, but this time Neuer out of his penalty area and is able to get to the ball first quite comfortably. So Bayern Munich facing defeat for the first time this season. Liverpool 1, PSV 3 remains the score at Anfield, and Liverpool are facing 9 defeats in their last 12 matches in all competitions. Is there anything like a comeback, Lee Blakeman?
They're trying, John. They're pushing for a goal to get them back into this. Kirkes has just burst into the area, shot across the face of goal, but wide of the bottom corner. Chiesa's just put one wide from 12 yards, but every time Liverpool go forwards, they look very, very vulnerable to the counter down the other end. 8.5 minutes to go at Anfield. Liverpool 1, PSV 3.
Not only that, they've now conceded 9 goals in 3 matches. So 3 to Manchester City, 3 to Nottingham Forest, 3 to PSV. So that will be dissected as well after 10 o'clock tonight. Full-time whistles going in the Championship. Millwall have won 1-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. So that is Millwall's first win in 5 matches. As Martinelli, the man who's just scored against Bayern Munich, scored against Real Madrid last season, remember, when Arsenal knocked them out, as Bayern are able to get this away up to Jackson, but a free kick's been given and a yellow card actually for Marino. And Harry Kane just speaking to the referee. It was a late challenge on Kimmich, just dived in late, so yellow card for Mikel Marino. More changes coming. Martin Odegaard is going to make his return for Arsenal, the club captain, who's missed the last 8 matches with a knee injury. Going to see Bayern changes as well. But first of all, it is going to be for Arsenal, Jurrien Timber coming off, and again, I think that is surely part of the thinking for Sunday. And Eza as well, after his hat-trick. It was Eza who played that pass through for Martinelli's goal.
Oh, it was a super ball. Got his head up, saw the danger. Marino's the one that fired it into him. That was the clever pass for me, but Eze has had a very good game again. Showed moments of real quality and got his work done through the midfield.
Bayern are going to make changes. Kimmich is coming off. Not such a big game for Bayern at the weekend. They're at home to struggling St. Pauli. And Kimmich off. Also Lennart Karl, who's been certainly quieter in the second half. He did have that chance, didn't he, when he ran through?
Yeah, one little move from Karl in the second half where he got around the outside of Lewis Skelly. But other than that, it's been a very dominant Arsenal second half, John, to be honest, both with set plays and in general open play. They've had a little bit more about them than Bayern in the second half.
The Portuguese international Rafael Guerreiro has come onto the field. Did they just make 2 changes or another one? No, they also took Upamecano off, who is on a yellow card. So
Goretzka came on, didn't
he? He did. Goretzka into the midfield and Kim at the back. Yeah, Kim, Guerreiro and Goretzka. So Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1. Arsenal heading to the top of the Champions League table, knocking Bayern Munich off the top spot. And Bayern, Vincent Kompany's Bayern, facing defeat for the first time this season in their 19th match in all competitions. As Arsenal again, here is Rice. They'll be talking about Rice's tackle on Kane in the bars tonight. Never mind Timber, Madueke and Martinelli's goals. I'm sure it'll be that tackle that is top of the bill as the ball is played out, but it's won back by Zubimendi with a high foot. And the high foot on Pavlovic means it's a free kick to Bayern. Matt Upson.
Are they both high there for you, John? I mean, I think the ball's bouncing up high, comes across Zubimendi. I mean, his shake of the head, he can't believe it's a foul, because Arsenal then stole the ball and 2 or 3 Arsenal players right on the edge of the 18-yard box he could pass the ball into, so it's an important foul.
Olympiacos are now putting pressure on Real Madrid. It's back to Olympiacos 3, Real Madrid 4, and it's our old friend Ayoub Al-Kabi who scored the goal. Do you remember his hat-trick against Aston Villa? Scored in the final as well when they won the trophy. Arsenal 3-1 up here, throwing in their own left back area. Just going to run you through the full-time scores in the championship that we have so far. So as I say, Millwall 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Sheffield United have won 3-0 against Portsmouth, so Chris Wilder has managed to get Sheffield United out of the bottom 3. Blackburn 0, QPR 1, and Wrexham 2-0 winners against Bristol City. We'll hear from Nathan Albon when we get a chance, who is at the racecourse ground. In fact, the ball is out of play now for an Arsenal throw down the left. It is still West Brom 1, Birmingham 0. They are still playing in the 8 o'clock kickoff. In fact, there's just been an equaliser. Marvin Duksch has made it West Brom 1, Birmingham 1. Throw-in for Arsenal. Calafiori is going to take this. Calafiori takes the throw down the line to Marino. That's blocked out of play. And off Elise. And Arsenal just trying to see this out now. They have conceded again when the goals have absolutely flown in against them here now. One on Sunday and one tonight.
I know, it's crazy,
That's
isn't it?
3 now they've conceded here in all competitions this season. The ship is rocking. Calafiori waiting to take this throw, which he does. Odegaard into the action, captain's armband on. Odegaard then played through by Marino. Martinelli, he knocks it across. Odegaard trying to get there, and Bayern just about smuggle it back, and actually the offside flag was up, and it's a free kick to Bayern inside their penalty area. Let's see how things finished at the racecourse ground. Nathan Albon.
Wrexham 2, Bristol City 0 at full-time. John, Nathan Broadhead's barnstormer and Radek Vitek's own goal with a corner going in off the post, and then the goal is backside. So Wrexham now 2 points off the playoffs, and there's a gentle whiff in the air of that 4th straight promotion. Full-time, Wrexham 2, Bristol City 0.
Yes, continuing to climb, and they are a force, aren't they? 3-1 here. Arsenal going top of the table. Inter will be in 2nd place. They are still 1-1 with Atletico Madrid, so Arsenal will remain as the only team to win 5 out of 5 in the Champions League this season. PSG are up to 3rd with the scores as they are. Bayern Munich dropping down to 4th, Real Madrid in 5th, Borussia Dortmund 6th, then Chelsea, and then Sporting. And Arsenal have lost possession on the edge of the box. It's played across, and Madueke can just move over and sweep that away downfield onto the head of Kim, who is actually playing on the as the right-sided central defender in the place of Upamecano, who has left the field. 5 Live is the place to listen to Chelsea against Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. 3 o'clock on Saturday, Manchester City Leeds, Sunderland Bournemouth are on 5 Live and Sports Extra, Everton Newcastle at 5:30, and tomorrow night on Sports Extra we will have commentary on the Celtic and Rangers matches. That's on Sports Extra tomorrow night, but all of the European matches covered on throughout the evening on 5 Live Sport, as Zubimendi heads it forward for Arsenal. 3.5 minutes of the 90 to play. Arsenal are nearly there. With Arsenal in this sort of form, and Harry Kane now shielding the ball halfway inside his own half, and he's not had a clear chance.
No, he hasn't got into the game anywhere near as much as what I'd expect him to.
Wins the free kick, fires it away downfield. It's headed away as Bischoff tries to run onto that, but across.
It's been a second half performance from Arsenal, though, John, of a team that is superior, has superior confidence. You don't think they don't even feel like they're going to concede goals, and they've just been more aggressive, more attacking. They've been almost outworking Bayern, to be honest, with the physicality and the atmosphere around the place. There's a real feel here that this team is going to be capable of doing something special this season.
Ben White at right back, good to see him getting a bit of time on the field for Arsenal as well. He feels a little bit like almost a forgotten man.
Yeah, very much so.
Calafiori playing it back to Mosquera, who rolls it all the way back towards the edge of the penalty area. So Hincapié played on Sunday, Mosquera's played tonight. Who will it be against Chelsea? Hincapié
Hincapié
coming back in?
I would say so, yeah.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Raya playing it downfield.
You know, coming into the team, then 3 big games in a week after not playing a lot, it's too much, isn't it? So understand why he's rotated that position this evening.
There is a late goal at Anfield. Lee Blakeman.
It is a 4th for PSV Eindhoven. This is rapidly turning into a rout. Counter down the right, pulled back to Druek, the substitute, is second of the game. PSV have 4 and Liverpool are heading for a 3rd straight defeat. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 4.
Well, that is another jaw-dropping scoreline at Anfield as well. 4-1 down to PSV.
Unbelievable.
What on earth is going on? So more on that at the end of the match, and certainly after 10 o'clock. PSG winning 5-3 against Tottenham, and here Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1. Another eventful night in the Champions League, which I'm not sure is going to affect the chances of Tottenham, Liverpool and Arsenal still being in the Champions League, whether that's in the playoff round or straight through into the round of 16. Nevertheless, as Kim is pulled up for a challenge from behind on Marino, and that's a free kick to Arsenal in a good position out towards the left-hand side. A number of Arsenal fans, I noticed, just beginning to head to the exits. On a wet evening in London, sometimes it is quite difficult to get around late in the evening, but I would have thought that after Tottenham on Sunday, if you're an Arsenal fan, you'd want to be here to really drink this in.
Yeah, there's not many leaving, to be fair, but there are the odd person just want to get ahead of the traffic. Or the queue at the tube station.
He shakes his head. About to beat Bayern Munich, but I beat the traffic. Rice, high ball in towards the back post. It's headed across, but straight into the arms of Neuer, who was able to hold that. It was Calafiori actually who got his head to it at the back post. 4 minutes of added time. Quick, get to the tube station. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It's played back to Goretzka, who's coming into the midfield.
You don't strike me as a man that rushes out of football grounds, John.
Yeah,
you like to drink it all in, don't you?
That has happened on the fingers of one hand.
Yeah.
Over the course of all of the years. Certainly not professionally. It's not often I leave before the end of the match when I'm commentating on what
they're sweeping up around you, aren't they?
Yes. Stanisic on the right, Elise. Here's Pavlovic now. Pavlovic through centrally. Zubamendi is very tight on Guerrero, so that's a free kick to Bayern Munich. They won't be giving this up. Bayern Munich. This is that sort of team, this sort of club. 4 minutes of added time, which we are now into. In fact, we've already had a minute of added time. 5 Live Sport will round it up for you again from 10 o'clock. An eventful night in the Champions League. Heavy defeats for Liverpool, 4-1 down at home to PSV, and Tottenham, who are losing 5-3 in Paris. Elise plays it into the Arsenal box. It's headed away. Kim with a shot. That's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Rattles across the 6-yard area. Cleared away. Kim again. But that is snatched at on the half volley, high over the top, and it remains 3-1 to Arsenal. Where are we heading? We're heading to either Paris Saint-Germain or Liverpool. It's Anfield, Lee Blakeman.
Where it's all over. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 4. Liverpool behind to a penalty after 5 minutes. Szoboszlai equalised 10 minutes later, but then 3 goals in the second half saw Liverpool go to their 3rd defeat in a row. Dark days at Anfield. Liverpool 1, PSV Eindhoven 4.
Extraordinary goings on at Anfield for Liverpool Football Club, the champions. Atalanta have won 3-0 in Germany against Eintracht Frankfurt, so Atalanta up to 10th in the table, and goal kick for Raya. The Bayern Munich supporters, none of them have left. Scarves raved above their heads in their section. Kim playing it back to Neuer, who was left marooned, wasn't he, when he came out of his goal, way out of his goal, and Martinelli touched it past him and then was able to roll the ball in from the edge of the area into the empty net with Neuer only able to watch downfield. That was the clincher, Martinelli's goal, Martinelli's 5th of the season. Here is Elise on the right-hand side, a little shimmy, left-footed ball in, but Rice is there to head it away, headed further away by Calafiori, and then Marino goes down under the challenge of Elise, and that's a free kick to Arsenal. We're in the final minute of added time now, Matt Upson.
Yeah, I mean, I think I may have put the kiss of death on Neuer when I said he never gets his angles wrong just before that. Slight misjudgment to be that far out, but I don't think anyone expected Arsenal to put those one or two passes together and then get Martinelli in. It was a really slick piece of passing and also vision from both Eze and Marino to find those passes. It's a good breakaway goal.
In contrast to Liverpool's form, this is going to be 12 wins out of the last 13 in all competitions for Arsenal. So just the draw at Sunderland when Brian Brobby scored the late equaliser.
Yeah, it was a good draw, that. Yeah. Tough place to go and play at the moment.
It was.
Good draw.
I was there.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Were you at that one?
Yeah, it was, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich here, their first in any competition this season, their first defeat. Flick from Odegaard. What about that? Marino, I'm not sure he knew that was coming, and therefore miscontrolled it. Marino then lets the ball run all the way through to Neuer, who comes to pick it up. This will be Bayern Munich's first defeat since they were in America at the end of last season in the FIFA Club World Cup, where they lost to Paris Saint-Germain in Atlanta. Not Atalanta, but Atlanta. And there is the final whistle. Another great night for Arsenal. The German champions, Bayern Munich, previously unbeaten this season, coming here. And Arsenal have dealt with them as well. Arsenal, 5 wins out of 5 in the Champions League this season, and they knock Bayern Munich off the top of the table. 3-1 the final score. Matt Upson.
Well, this team is on a run, and it's a powerful run. It's got a little bit of everything about it. Arsenal were in good form, but they just appear to be ticking over, going about their business, being effective, being hard to play against. The clean sheets at home is off the charts, and they look a threat. They've got a real good buzz and feel around this stadium. You can tell the supporters feel that this is a year where they could achieve something really special, both in this competition and in the Premier League. And I think that this evening really does indicate that. It's a massive win against Bayern Munich, who are not used to losing football matches, make no mistake. So for Arsenal to do what they've done this evening is a big achievement.
And Harry Kane not remotely near, really, to adding to his 24 goals for Bayern Munich this season. He has to listen to North London forever as he leads the Bayern Munich players across towards their supporters, who are applauding back to them. But barely a chance for Harry Kane. A very good night for Mikel Arteta and his team. Timber opened the scoring. Lennart Carl equalised, but in the second half, Madueke, his first goal for Arsenal, and Gabriel Martinelli touching it past Neuer, who came miles out of his penalty area to clinch it with the third goal. So Arsenal 3-1 winners against Bayern Munich, and now they can prepare for Chelsea. Top 2 in the Champions League tonight, top 2 in the Premier League on Sunday.